Round 3.
Woo! Round 3, Borderlands. 10 minutes, spoiler free. You got a high level synopsis for us?
Yeah. So what appears to be happening here is we have Lilith, who is a bounty hunter,
Okay.
right? So
Yeah.
she gets
Boba
hired.
Fett.
Yep. So she gets hired by this guy to go find his daughter.
Atlas.
So she goes to Pandora and tries to find the daughter for a hefty payment.
Yeah.
And
Get that money.
Encounters, I guess, a group of
Vault
Vault
hunters.
yeah. And this movie really is about, their adventure trying to keep the daughter safe.
Okay.
Is that a fair high level?
Sure.
I mean, there's a lot going on, but I think that's
that's good. So first off, we already done a couple of episodes about this. As far as the Rotten Tomato score, I didn't look it up today, but I'm pretty sure it's still bad. First thing I will say is this movie is not as bad as these reviews will lead you to believe.
Agree. I thought that was gonna be my hot take.
No.
I was gonna say I'm like, this is not that bad.
No, it's not that bad. Now, me being a Borderlands fan, this is really hard for me to review. Because on one hand, I feel like there are clear things that they could have done to make it better. Right. However, I'm trying to stay objective though. Right. Forget about those things that I know about the game. Forget about the source material.
See, I don't.
And
here we go. I don't know source material.
just rate the movie for what it was. Kevin Hart was Kevin Hart. I don't like Kevin Hart. He's not funny to me. Luckily, he's not in the movie that much. Right.
I thought he was kind of toned down a little bit for Kevin Hart.
A little bit, but the character he was playing, generally speaking, was a little toned down.
Okay.
But the character he was playing was more militant as well, and Kevin Hart was not that at all either. The graphics weren't bad. The acting was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I feel like Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
I feel like she played a pretty good Lilith.
I love Kate Blanchett. I can't even believe she was in this movie, but I really like her.
I felt like she played a pretty good Lilith, so that was good. Claptrap sounded like Claptrap, acted like Claptrap, so I was good with that. One problem that I really saw with this movie is that I think it was marketed wrong.
Oh, really?
The way they did all the marketing was Jamie Lee Curtis is in the movie, and Kevin Hart is in the movie, and Kate Blanchett and Jack Black is in the movie, right? That's how they did the marketing. But at the end of the day, and this is not too much of a spoil, the beginning of the movie, after the opening credits, was word for word, damn near
bar for bar,
with like the first Borderlands.
Oh, really?
Like that whole scene where she shows up to Pandora and there's the bus and then there's the claptrap and then the scene. So did you watch Ghost in the Shell live action? Scarlett Johansson?
Like 8 years ago?
Like, did you watch it though?
Yeah.
So do you remember specifically there were scenes in that movie that looked exactly like the anime?
Correct.
That's what happened here. And I feel like that's how they should have marketed this movie, as something close to Borderlands. So if you like Borderlands, you will like this movie. This movie is really about Lilith.
Oh yeah.
But they don't market it that way. It's really about Lilith. And so I feel like it was a miss there. Overall, I'm tempted to say this was a good movie.
Really?
It wasn't great. It wasn't like the best movie I've ever seen, but it wasn't bad. It definitely wasn't a 6 or a 10 or whatever the hell was going on Rotten Tomatoes.
For real, 10%.
Yeah. What you think, Terrence? No spoils.
I drifted.
What does that mean? You were driving and there was some slick spots?
No.
Tokyo Drift?
No.
You hit that emergency brake?
When I'm watching a movie, I'm focused, right? When I lose my focus, my mind starts to drift. There were times when my mind started drifting. That doesn't mean that I say it was horrible, but I don't think it was a theatrical production.
Okay.
Now, that being said, when I mean theatrical production, I mean like I could have caught this on Apple TV. I could have caught this on Hulu. That's what I mean. I don't mean, hey, I'm gonna go spend.
No, I mean when you say it's not a theatrical production, that to me that means it's a B movie, straight to DVD.
Yeah, I won't say that. I
don't feel like it's not that
because
at all.
I watch stuff on other platforms, and so I am of the ilk. There are good movies that come on other platforms that have not made it to the movie theater. So that's where I'm at with this one. That's not to say that we're not at that point yet. So
don't spoil nothing. What you got?
So I felt like it was, I didn't walk out of there feeling like it was a good movie, but I felt like this was okay. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know how to really explain that, but I was just like, this wasn't bad at all. This was fast. Like, it was short. It was only like 100 minutes, which I always appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like long. There were parts of it that I felt like were not good. Like in the very beginning when she was talking to those guys that were trying to hire her for the job.
Mm-hmm.
That whole scene, something felt like this feels bad acting, not on Kate Blanchett, but like something just felt off about that scene.
I think the worst actor probably was the dude that played Atlas.
Yeah.
Because he was supposed to be a bad guy with like an accent, but it was just...
It came off as,
he was by far the worst actor in the movie.
It came off as like cheap almost.
But
like
luckily, he was only in it.
He was barely in
it.
Yeah. So I loved Lilith's costume. And of course, I mean, you know, her whole outfit, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I loved, like, I don't know if you call it set design. I don't know what it's called, but the whole scene, like you mentioned, when she shows up at
in Pandora,
yeah. The story was okay. It wasn't great. I didn't think it was a great story, but I also, I think I mentioned this a minute ago. I didn't play the game, so I don't know if they're on. I don't know, like, if they're even on with these characters. I appreciated the fact that Kevin Hart wasn't Kevin Hart to that nth degree, screaming constantly. But no, for the most part, I was like, oh, this movie's fine. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't really know what everybody's problem with it, and I think I do know what the problem is. I'll probably get into it more once we start doing spoilers. I think I actually know exactly what's wrong. Not necessarily, what's wrong with this movie. As far as why it did so poorly, right? But I mean, the other part about reviewing this movie, outside of knowing so much about the source material, is watching it right after we watched Deadpool.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm not saying that this was better than Deadpool, but I definitely think this is a lot better than people say, and I think Deadpool is not as good as people are making it out to be. And generally speaking, outside of the multiverse stuff in Deadpool, they're very similar movies. You got over-the-top characters doing over-the-top things in some wasteland.
Yeah.
And you know, they were in the void in Deadpool. They're on Pandora here. There's crude jokes and weird humor, right? The main difference is one was rated R, one was PG-13.
Yeah.
So they were very similar movies, and it makes it hard to review a little bit, coming right off the heels of Deadpool.
Oh, for sure. Well, and I know you're not generally speaking a huge fan of kid actors.
No.
But I really liked the girl that played Tiny Tina.
I was gonna say she was probably the second worst actor in the movie. The kid. What you think?
Yeah, I'm indifferent.
I don't know what it was about her. There was just something about her that I was like, I just really like her. I'm not saying
So-
her acting was like top notch, but
Well, yeah. But
So, cause let's give it another minute, then we can get into the spoils. Because
well, it's not a spoiler.
okay,
Do you so I give because during my time we had a lot of child actors, right?
Yeah.
I don't grade them the same way.
I don't grade anything on a curve.
No, I don't say that, but their grading scale is different all the way.
That's grading on the curve then.
So you believe that a kid actor should be able to act like a person who's acted for 15, 20 years?
No, I don't expect them to act that way. I expect them to be bad actors, which they are. So I expect you to stop putting them in movies and lead roles because I don't want to see it.
But
That's my expectation.
But if the part requires a child,
then I don't want to see it.
okay. I
yeah.
respect that.
No, I mean, I'm not saying that she was a good actress. Like yes, it was subpar.
Did you like the actress or you like the character?
Did she give you warm and fuzzies?
I think it was a little bit of both. There were
Okay.
some parts that I didn't like that she did that I was like, that didn't come off great. But I don't know. There was
So let's end the spoil-free portion by saying, did you like it or did you didn't like it? And would you recommend it to people?
So let me say this. I didn't like it.
Okay.
And would I recommend it to anybody?
I liked it, but I probably wouldn't recommend it.
Same. I liked it, but I would not recommend it to people. And I'm going to get into why right now.